Hello and welcome to a little Scratch video about how to create a Grasshopper game. This is the Scratch website, scratch.mit.edu. Make sure you're on that website and have signed in. If you haven't created an account, look at the video on the link and follow that to create an account. You'll need a parent or guardian or teacher's email address to create one. Once you've done that and log in, it will look like this. You can see other games that people have created, and you can make your own. We're going to create our own today, so click on Create. Here we go. So whenever you create a new game in Scratch, it will always have this Scratch cat. So you'll see this quite a lot. Here is where the cat does something. So for example, we could get this block and pull it over here. It says move 10 steps. If I click on the block, did you see the cat move? There we go, the cat moves. And what we often want to do is make the cat move when the green flag is clicked, because that's how people play games in Scratch. We can get another block from this events category, which says when flag clicked. Click and drag it. If you put it next to the other one, they'll connect together. Now, if we click the green flag, the cat will move. So that's simply how it works. This is our stage area. This is where something happens in our game. This is the code that we make. This is our script editor. And down here, we can see, at the moment, we only have one sprite, which are the characters in Scratch. And we can add more, so we could end up with lots more cats if we wanted, or lots of different things. Today we're going to make a Grasshopper game. So to start with, at the top here, this is where we give our game a title. If you click in this field and give it a title, that's a good start. When you've written the title, click somewhere else. There we go, it's now called Grasshopper Game. You'll also see up here it says Save Now, so you can click that if you want. It does save automatically every few minutes, so you don't normally have to worry. Now, I'm going to delete this cat. I don't want the cat, I'm afraid, and I can use this bin icon next to the cat and just click it and the cat is gone, plus all the code that was inside. I'm going to add a grasshopper. I need to go over here and then it says choose a sprite, so click on that. And there are tons of sprites in Scratch. Let me show you how to find the one we're looking for. Here's the search, so you could type there we go, it's coming up already, grasshopper. And you can see if I hover over it, the grasshopper looks like it's moving. That shows us what the different costumes are that the grasshopper has. Shows us what we might be able to do if we're clever enough to code it. Another way we can find a grasshopper is using these at the top. It says animals here, so we could click on animals and then just scroll down and here's our grasshopper. So once you've found it, click on it and now we have a grasshopper, but it doesn't do anything yet. Let's make it do something then. We want it to happen when the green flag is clicked. So from the events category, so these are the categories over here, and events is one that gets used a lot because of this block, when flag clicked. Now to use it, we have to click and drag it, and then let go in this middle area. So get one of those for your grasshopper. So when flag clicked. And when the flag's clicked, we want the grasshopper to jump across the stage area. Now, we saw it looked like it was jumping, and that's because of these. These are the grasshopper's costumes. So you can see the different pictures. And if we changed picture quickly, it would look like it was jumping. And that's what we're going to do. Let's go back to the code area. So when the flag's clicked, we want the grasshopper to forever keep changing those costumes. Now go to this control category. Here we've got this forever loop. We're going to click and drag it and put it near the other block, and then it will connect together. So forever we want the grasshopper to keep changing costume. Now the costume bits are in this category, looks, a dark purple one. Click on that, and down here we have next costume. So I'm going to click and drag that and put it inside the forever loop. There we go. So when the flag is clicked, the grasshopper will forever change to the next costume. Let's click the green flag. Whoa. You see my grasshopper's gone a bit crazy. Let's stop. The grasshopper will get worn out otherwise. We need to add a delay in there, don't we? Need to make it wait a little time before changing to the next costume. And we can get that from the control category again. At the top here we have wait 1 second. I know it says seconds, but you can change it to more than one, you see. Click and drag this and put it inside that loop. So we want to not wait 1 second, but we're going to change it. If we click on that field, we can write a different number. So we're going to try something smaller. So let's go for 0.5. So that's half a second, isn't it? Let's try that. I think that's still a little slow, isn't it? So you can stop your grasshopper with this red button. There we go. And click here again. I'm going to try 0.2. Click the green flag. I think that looks good to me. I'm going to make him stop now. There we go. So the grasshopper looks like it's jumping, but actually it's staying in the same place and just changing those pictures. So let's make it go across the screen. Now we need to look at this category, motion, at the top. Here we've got move 10 steps, like we did with the cat earlier. So let's grab this and put this inside the forever loop too. There we go. Let's try that out. It is slowly moving, isn't it? I'm going to make it stop because it's gone off the screen. You can grab the grasshopper if you can get its legs. There we go, and bring it back. Let me try again. I think I'm going to have a look at what my grasshopper would look like at a smaller size. So down here we've got size. It's 100 at the moment, which is full size. I want it to be smaller, so I'm going to try 30. Can you see my grasshopper just shrank, didn't it? Now let's try seeing it move. I think that looks okay. But you can see when it gets to the edge, it just carries on and gets stuck, doesn't it? So what we want it to happen is to come back again. And we can do that in the motion category. If you scroll down on this motion category, there's this block here. It says if on edge, bounce. So the edge is the edge of that stage area. Let's grab it and put it inside this block too. Let's try that out then. Well, you can see that it has worked, but our grasshopper is now upside down. So there's something we need to change. I'm going to stop my grasshopper there. Underneath if on edge bounce, it's got this other block here. Set rotation style. Grab this one and put it inside there. And we want the rotation style to be left, right. So it's got don't rotate or all around. Let's try that and see how it goes. There we go. That worked, didn't it? I'll click the red flag to make it stop. So now our grasshopper will just go back and forwards, which is perfect. Now we're going to add some background to our grasshopper, because of course our grasshopper wants to be somewhere grassy, I imagine. Let's go down to this bottom right hand corner. If you hover over this one, it says choose a backdrop. There are other options too, but we're not going to look at those yet. Click on choose a backdrop. like the sprites, there are lots of different backdrops. Let's click outdoors and have a look for one that you think would work. I'm going for this one, forest. When you found the one you want, click on it. There we go. Now I'll click the green flag and see how that looks with my grasshopper. That looks good. What we're going to do is add some more grasshoppers and then play a game where we try and catch the grasshoppers. So I'm going to stop that grasshopper, and it's really easy because we've made this code in here. We can just copy this sprite, but it will also copy all this code as well. I'm going to right click on that one and select duplicate. Can you see we've got two grasshoppers now? And right click on this one and duplicate. So you can add as many as you want. I think I might go for 6. So how many have I got now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And if you see, they carry on going down, so you scroll down. So now you see we've got lots of grasshoppers here. Now they've all appeared in the same kind of area, but you can move them around. So click and drag them to put them where you want. Click the green flag and hopefully they'll all jump around. So you can adjust them, move them around a bit, play with where they are and what they're doing. And they're all jumping in time at the moment. You could change that by starting them on a different costume, but I think we won't go into that at the moment. That looks really good. We've got lots of grasshoppers hopping around, so let's make them stop for now. Now we're going to add a new sprite, which is going to be a net to catch the grasshoppers. We're going to paint this ourselves. And what you need to do is hover over this choose a sprite icon and go up here to paint. Click on that one. Now here we can paint something. First we need to name it, so that's down over this side. We're going to call it net or something like that. And the paint thing is very simple. We've got a paintbrush here. We can draw a line, squares, circles, write something. And this is a rubber, that's important too. The other thing that's really important is this button up here is the undo button. So if you make a mistake, you can undo it. I'm going to start with a line. Here we can change the colour, so click this arrow. And if we just move the brightness a bit, there we go, we can see different colours. I'm going to try and find a brown. There we go, I think that looks good. Also, this one here, if you click the arrow, it goes up, so you can make the line thicker. I'm going to try 10 and see how that looks. Now just click and draw your line going across. There we go, that's my line. If you don't like it or if it goes really wrong, you can click undo. There we go. I think I'll make mine a little shorter perhaps. Something like that. Okay. And you can see it appearing straight away on the stage area too. Now I'm going to add a bit at this end to make some netting, but I want it to be a different colour. I'm going to click on the paintbrush and then up here at the moment it's purple. You can use purple if you want, or drag these around and make a different colour. I think I'm going to go for blue, if I can make a nice blue. There we go, a bit darker. There we go. Now, at the moment, the paintbrush again is 10 thick, which is the same as the line. If you want to see better, you can use these things down here, a plus to zoom in and a minus to zoom out. If you push this equals in the middle, it just makes it full size. I'm going to zoom in a bit at the top here. Now I'm going to try and draw a net with my paintbrush, so I'm going to just click and drag it. and draw some lines across. Oh. Remember, if it goes wrong, use that undo button. There we go. There we go. That's my net. I'm happy with that. Also, remember you've got this rubber as well, so if you don't like any bits of it, you can use the rubber. Now here's my net. If I click back on the code, I can see a picture of a net up here, which means I can add code in here which will make the net do something. I think I would like the net a little smaller, so I'm going to use the size again, which is 100 at the moment, and change it to, I'm going to try 80. Yeah, I think that's good. So what I'm going to try and do is make a game so the person can move the net around and catch a grasshopper. I want them to be able to move the net using the arrow keys. Let's try and make that. Again, from the events category, we need a when flag clicked. Click and drag it into the script area. Now we want another forever loop. That's in the control category. There we are. Click and drag and put it next to the other one. It will join up. We want to move it if the person is pressing the arrow keys on the keyboard. We need, in the control category, this if loop here. Can you see we've got if something, then do something. So it means if something happens, then we wish to do what's in this loop. So in our case, we want to, if the arrow key is pressed, move the net. Grab this one and put it inside the forever loop. There we go, so it's inside it, nested in like that. Now we want to check if the key is pressed. That's in the sensing category, this light blue one here. Here it says key space pressed, which feels like we've got the wrong one, but grab this one and put it in the if loop. If you click the arrow here, it comes up with lots of different options for key presses. We want to move it left and right and up and down. So let's start with left. So if the left arrow is pressed, then we want it to move left. Go to the motion category at the top. Now this is something a bit different. We have to think about x and y coordinates. You might have heard of these before in your maths lessons. So x and y are a way of putting something on a grid or on a graph, and in Scratch the x and y coordinates go across the screen. So in the middle here, x goes across, and in the middle here, y goes across. So x goes across the screen because x is across, and y goes up. So the middle of the screen is the 0. If you're at 0, 0, you'd be here. And you can see you've got x and y coordinates down here. Now we want the net to move to the left. Now, this sounds a bit tricky, but what we want to do is take away something from the x position. So we're moving to the left in the x category. Now in the motion, we've got change x by. So this is the one we need, change x by 10, it says. So click and drag that one and put it inside. And we don't want to change it by 10 though, because we're moving to the left, we're going into minus numbers. We want to take away something from the x value. So at the moment, the x value is 36. If I move it to the left, it's now 5. So you can see I've taken away something from that. So I'm going to take away 10. I'll try that. So I need to change this to -10. Let's have a go. Click the green flag. That will make sure your code loads and press the left key. Can you see my net moves? Lovely. Perfect. Now we want to add some more. Let's stop our grasshoppers. Go to the control category and get another if loop. This if loop, we want it to go after the other if loop, but inside the forever loop. Let me show you what that looks like. Can you see it's after the other if loop and the forever loop goes around it. So make sure you've done that right, otherwise it might not work quite as you expected. Again, we need this sensing block. So click on sensing and get this one, key space press, but we know that it's got other keys in there. Click on the drop down and let's do the right arrow now. So if the right arrow is pressed, we want to move it to the right. Now going across the screen is still moving in the X direction, so that left and right is the X. Let me try it and see. So at the moment, let's see, we've got X is 12 and Y is 18. I'm going to move this way. I'm just going to drag it with my mouse. So X was 12 and now it's 73. So you can see X has got bigger. Y has stayed about the same. So again, we need to change the X if we want to move to the right. Click on motion, scroll down, and we have change X by. Grab this and put it inside the if loop. This time we'll keep it at 10. Let's try that out. Click the green flag. Now press the right key. It works. Fantastic. Now we need to add some more if loops. Go to the control category, get another if loop. Again, put it inside the forever loop after the other two if loops. There we go. And from the sensing category, get key space pressed. Click the drop down. So we've done left and right. Now we could do up or down. I think I'll go for up first. So click up arrow. And when we move up, let's see what happens. So at the moment we've got X is 103 and Y is 17. Let me click and drag it up. So X has stayed the same, 103. Y has increased, hasn't it, to 37. So what we need to change now is the Y coordinates. Click on motion, scroll down, and here we have change Y by 10. Click and drag this one and put it inside that third if loop. There we go. Let's try that out. Click the green flag, press the up key. Yay, it worked. Now we need to do the down arrow. Again, from the control category, get the if loop, put it inside the forever loop and after the other if loops, like that. Now from the sensing category, we need key space pressed. Grab that one and put it inside the if loop. So this is an irregular hexagon. So some people say put it inside the irregular hexagon of the if loop. We've done left, right, up, and now we need down. So click on the little arrow and find down. So if the down key is pressed, Let me see then. So here is my net. It's at x 103 and y 137. If I click and drag it, x changed a tiny bit, but y changed a lot, didn't it? It's gone from 137 to 99. So again, we need to take away something from the y category. Click on motion, scroll down, and get this block, change y, and put it inside the if loop. So we don't want to change it by 10 because we need to take away something. So we need minus 10, take away 10. Now it's important after every change you make to check your code. So click the green flag. Now press the down arrow. It works. So our net goes left, right, up, and down. And the grasshoppers are still jumping around. Now we want to make the grasshoppers disappear when they get touched by the net. We're going to add some code to our grasshopper to do that. Click on the first grasshopper. And we want to add another one of these when flag clicked blocks. They're in the events category. When flag clicked. So when the flag's clicked, we want it to check if it's touching the net. And we want it to check all the time. Again, from the control category, we need a forever loop. Click on control and then find forever. So forever, check if it's touching. So if it's touching something gives you a big clue. We need an if loop. Here it is in the control category. Click and drag it inside the forever loop. There we go. So if it's touching the net. Again, we need something from the sensing category. Click on that one. Let me zoom in again on that one. There we go. We've got at the top touching mouse pointer, but if we click this arrow, you can see it's got lots of different things in there. And what we want to check is if it's touching net. So you can change it here. So touching net, grab that one and put it inside this irregular hexagon of the if loop. So if it's touching the net, then we want the grasshopper to do something. And what we want it to do is something called hide. Click on the looks category, scroll down, and you'll see these two little blocks here. We've got show and hide. We want the hide one at the moment. Click and drag that one, put it inside the if loop. So we've made this change in one of our grasshoppers, so we'll have to kind of see if one of them disappears. Click the green flag and see, did you see one disappeared? We've only got 5 left now. So it worked. Now click the green flag again. Can you see a problem? We've still only got 5 grasshoppers. That's what we also need to add is this show block. So whenever you use hide, you often need to use show as well. And we need to grab this show block and we're going to put it in just before when flag clicked. So we want to put it in between when flag clicked and forever. So whenever someone starts the game again, the grasshoppers come back. Let's try that. Can you count the grasshoppers? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, we're good. We got them all back again. Lovely. So we've got one grasshopper disappearing. We want to get all the others to disappear too. There's a couple of different ways you can do this. If you'd left it and copied this sprite, it would copy all the code. So we could delete the other grasshoppers and copy the one where we've made the change. But I'm going to show you how to use the backpack. That's down here. Click on backpack. Now this is a way we can copy the code. It's like our rucksack, we can carry it between the different sprites. Click and drag the code we want to copy, which is this new code that we made with show and hide. Click and drag it into the backpack. You'll see it goes blue down here. Let go The code is still here, but also a copy is here. We've done this grasshopper. Click on another grasshopper and then click and drag this code. There we go. Now it's in this grasshopper too. Click on the next grasshopper. Click and drag the code into this one. Click on the next grasshopper. Click and drag the code into this one. Click on the next one. Click and drag the code into that one. Let's try that out then. Move my net around. There we go. So I've got one left, so I obviously haven't done the code in there. If I click on this one, it might show me which one it is. It's hard to get it though, but I'm pretty sure I've left one. So what you have to do is check in each one that you've got the code. You've got it in that one, got it in that one. If you can't see it very well, then right click and clean up blocks. It puts in a nice line for you. I'm going to do that here too, clean up blocks. So that's all fine for those ones. No, it hasn't got anything else in there. So click and drag this one in too. Now let's click the green flag. There we go, it works. And you can make it stop. When you finish with the backpack, you can just click it to close. If you want to delete this code, you can right click and delete as well. Click the backpack to close it. There we go. So you've made a game. There you go, a little grasshopper game. You can show it to your friends, see if you've got any ideas for improvements, see if you can make it work better. Perhaps you could add some more sprites, do some different characters. See what you can think of that you could do next. Up here it says save now, make sure you click that. And if you've finished, then you can log out. So if you click here, it says sign out. So make sure you do that when you've finished. If you want to show other people your game, and your parent or guardian or teacher gives permission, you can click on share. So this means other people will be able to play your game. You need to write instructions here. So make sure you write something so someone else who's never played it before will know what to do. And perhaps you might like to put that you've used this video in the credits here. And that's all, then you can share it and then everybody else can see your game. Now, let me show you how to find your game again. So if we go back to the Scratch, when you log in, it will look like this, won't it? To find your game, you need to click on this folder here called My Stuff. You can see I've got lots of stuff in here, and this is the game we were just working on. And so you can see it's just there at the top, so you can click See Inside. There we go, and there's your game. So share your games on Scratch, share your games in the comments here and let me know what you did. I'd love to hear how you found it.